This video is about the Low Vision Coalition of Allen County. It features the Sight Center's Executive Director, Tim Tegge, and Low Vision Coalition founding member, Jacob King. There are pictures of members of the coalition throughout this video.
I remember when Stacy Butts, now Stacy Franks, and I were invited to do a presentation at Rhodes State College. It was just about the time where I had been conceiving of a model to have like a county coalition. But then I also remember talking with you and Joseph Abbott afterwards and talking about this idea of having in every county seat in our service area a group of people who are living with low vision or blindness.
There's that phrase about like nothing about them or for them without them. And so it's this idea that like the people that are experiencing the thing are the ones that you should be talking to, asking questions about what they need, what they want, how they want to do things. I think a lot of people, especially when they're losing their sight, it's an isolating thing, right? It is like, I don't, if I'm losing my sight, I'm not able to drive, which means I'm not able to be as connected. My world literally gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And so to be able to reach out over the phone or over Zoom, or even just locally at a coffee shop or something to a person that understands, and that can like kind of relate and kind of sympathize a bit and just have a conversation. Because when you're first losing your sight, it's emotionally overwhelming. You're not even ready for the tools yet because you need to grieve that loss for a minute. Then that's when organizations like the Sight Center can come in and say, look, this is what you need. This is how you use what you need. This is things you maybe didn't even think of that you could use. And I think that those two things together kind of help get people back on their feet.
Some of the messaging we've done at the Sight Center is this concept of helping people to work, learn, play, and live independently. So those four quadrants. And I remember you kind of taking that and actually doing things in every one of those areas as a coalition.
It's a good way to organize a lot of good ideas and good action. Having those like four kind of spheres, it's really helpful. It really helps you focus. Like right now, we're going to do something to build your education. Right now, we're going to do something to build your work skills. Right now, we're just going to get together and have a community thing and have fun because that is so important too. You don't do the rest of the stuff if you don't have that piece. And so I think having those kind of pillars to build on has been incredibly helpful for us as a group. It is wonderful to engage with all people, sighted or not. But when you can be in a group of folks who just understand how you see the world, understand how you interact with it, and they don't need you to explain it, you can just be you. Like I think everyone in the Low Vision Coalition, that's what we talk about, is like when we're at our events and we're all collected there, like you don't have to be the only one of you in the room.
How would you say it differs from like a support group?
Starlight Club has been meeting for a long time. As a matter of fact, I started just going to Starlight Club meetings, right? And it's a wonderful group. They have a meal once a month. They get together, they socialize, they hear a guest speaker, and it is a support group. They can just talk about what they're struggling with, and it's wonderful. It's a great group. I think that Low Vision Coalition has that component. We do have those events like Blind Bowling where we are just with people that get it. Mm-hmm. But we also have the events like the Dinner in the Dark, like the going to college campuses and teaching sighted guide training, doing blind self-defense workshops, right? Like all of these kind of things that like do empower people. And it's not to suggest that support groups aren't doing good work. They're doing very good work. But when you have that label, that's what you need to do. We are a coalition. So we have a supportive element, but we also do a lot of advocacy. And I think that's that's the kind of distinguishing factor between the two.
Does anybody ever talk about, well, why is it the Low Vision Coalition?
I think when we trip over language the most is when we are approaching sighted people about our organization, right? Like this, I think, is one of those examples where blind folks and low vision folks, we get it. We get that it's a spectrum. I mean, I'm preaching to the choir when I say that there are very few people who don't see anything at all, right? Like most blindness is on some kind of a continuum. We do a lot of explaining that to sighted people, which is okay. It's not, if it's not in your experience, it's not in your wheelhouse, you don't know it. So I think internally, I don't think that's ever really been a challenge for us. I think that the challenge comes in how we communicate about our group to folks who don't have that experience.
One of my goals is to have more groups and have a group in every county at least. And what kind of recommendations or advice would you give to somebody that's either looking to form a group like that, with the Sight Center support or guidance?
I'd say that in order to make it a coalition, by definition, lots of people have to be involved. And obviously you start with small numbers and you grow it. But what I mean by that is you can't ever have this mentality that like one or two people is going to do all the things. You need organizers and you need doers. You need techie people. You need funny people. You need people that are going to keep everybody on task. You need to assemble a group of folks and help each other kind of develop one another's skills. The other thing, the Sight Center has been wonderful. It's not the only service agency we work with either. We decided that very early on, that like we definitely wanted to steer people towards the Sight Center, but if opportunities for Ohioans with disabilities could do something, why not link them with that? If Goodwill Easter Seals could do something, why not link people with that? Right. So it's this matter of like, we work with all the people we can, and we work with all the groups that we can, right? Because like that's how you, I think, experience the most success. I said one time that like it's important, like form the advocacy group, put other people in charge, right? like don't own it, like share it.